Because 1/3 of the labor force makes $15 an hour or less. Now, the Department of Labor puts the labor participation rate at around 62%. So of the 330 million Americans that live here, roughly 200 million of them go to work and collect a paycheck. Of that 200 million who go to work, 1/3 of those people make $15 an hour or less. That's another 66 million. Leaves you with 134 million out of 330 million. It's about 40% of the population still makes a living wage commensurate with the human expectations that have been cultivated over the last 60 years. Inversely, this means that about 60% of Americans do not have material wealth, do not have financial security that would allow them to participate in the economy in a meaningful way or in a way that is commensurate with human expectation. The bottom 60% of Americans participate in the economy in the way that a robbery victim participated in the robbery. When I say wages that no longer align with human expectation, what do I mean? Well, she's what I mean. Obviously, she went to that bar expecting there to be other people there because when she was younger, that was a societal norm that on the weekends, people would take their disposable income and they would go socialize. That had been a societal norm for so long that she's arrived in a place where she considers it to be an expectation. Now, we create these expectations across all facets of society, whether it be home ownership, whether it be college attendance, whether it be starting a family, having children. $15 an hour is $31,200 a year before taxes. Federal poverty guidelines for a family of 4, that's 2 parents, 2 kids, is $32,150. That's not even having children at replacement rate that capitalism insists that you need to be having 3 of them at least. Just 2 kids, you're expected, 1/3 of the labor force is expected to raise those children in poverty. Now, if you've never been a child living in poverty, let me spare you the details. It's corny as fuck. Now we've arrived at a place where the remaining 40% of Americans who do still have some disposable income are looking around at their favorite aspects of society, wondering why those no longer meet their expectations. And I can tell you why. This is what happens when a society requires 1/3 of the economy to create expectations that they're not allowed to participate in. This is a direct result of allowing the ruling class to strip from labor any opportunity of economic populism that made the civil rights movements of the 50s and 60s possible. Over the last 60 years, billionaires have stripped from American labor the industry and manufacturing that led to the prosperity that allowed them to fund political movements, social organizations, to collectively pool their resources and participate in capitalism outside of the influence of capital. All of those policies that took all of that from them, those are the same policies that are now stripping the most basic of expectations from us. So remember, whenever you're looking around and you see an example of society failing to keep up with human expectation, remember that you're not just seeing an empty bar. You're seeing the decades-long collective effort of the ruling class to strip from labor any power or opportunity to shape society in a way that would directly lead to their benefit or prosperity. As always, I appreciate you guys taking the time. Much love. You have a good one.